You know, you look at everything that's happening in ice fishing in the last few years, you know, ice fishing has gotten really technical. There's all kinds of electronics, equipment, lake maps, sonar, you name it, that has aided ice anglers. But you know, at the end of the day, ice fishing can really be simple. And I think one of the simplest things that hasn't changed over the past 30 years is just using tip-ups to catch fish, especially if you're out to target big walleyes or big pike. I mean, tip-ups can catch a lot of fish. And so that's a question that we get asked a lot is, how do I rig up a tip-up? How do I catch big pike in particular? And I tell you what, you know, there's a lot of different tip-ups on the scene. These tip-ups here are pretty simple. This is a big tooth tip-up made by Clam, but there's a lot of tip-ups that are similar. They've got knobs here, you can tighten it up and adjust it here. And basically it just puts the spool below the water line, and when a fish hits, this spindle turns up on top, flag pops up, and that fish can just pull off line. And this tip-up here I've got rigged up with 40-pound Dacron. And so when I'm using tip-ups for pike in particular, I like to use heavy Dacron. Reason being is it rolls off the spool faster and easier. It doesn't bite into itself. And on the business end here, I've just got a heavy-duty snap swivel. There's just a fluorocarbon rig where you can put either a live sucker, a herring, smelt, some type of frozen dead bait, and basically that just spreads apart and you can hook your bait on. You can even use hot dogs for bait and catch pike. Neat thing about this zero rig is that when you hook into the fish, these hooks slide together, and so that way you don't have a loose hook getting caught on the ice so much. And so fluorocarbon has really replaced titanium or steel leaders over the last couple of years. Very effective. And what I like to do to mark your line is I just take a piece of rubber band and tie that on your line to set your depth after you get your depth checked. So that's just a cheap, easy thing to do that works really well. Over there.
Over there.
Oh, here she goes, here she goes. Got him. Here, come on. Throw the line out. Here you go. Keep him coming, keep him coming. Oh, here, let me help you. Let me help you. That's a good one. Oh!
Awesome.
That is
good
a
job,
gator. What do you
buddy.
think of that, Brennan?
That's a good one.
That's your biggest one through the ice, I think. Here, let's get this fish unhooked.
Beautiful fish, buddy.
Get her. Bring it up, okay? Put your other arm underneath his belly. Here, just like that. Hold it out nice. Yeah, that's okay. Get slimed up. Here you go. Here, I'll help you. That's a nice pike.
Yeah, buddy.
That's a nice pike.
Good job.
Oh. Yeah, you know, that's about a 35. Oh! Tip-ups can also work extremely well for walleyes, especially if you're targeting big fish and you're using big baits like big sucker minnows, big creek chubs. And so again, basically the same general setup. And you can adjust this up and down. A lot of times I like to adjust it to where that spool is just under the water. If it's really windy, I'll actually lower this down just to put more pressure, more tension on the bar. And there's two notches on most of these tip-up spindles where you've got a lighter notch and a heavier notch. Usually if you have big baits or if you have wind, you have to use that heavier notch. If you're anticipating, you know, light biting fish, like say a walleye bite, you can use that smaller notch. But basically, fish hits, spools off line. You can see here I've just got a fluorocarbon leader with some split shot on it, and then just a treble hook. You can see there, that's about a size 6 treble there for, you know, just using smaller minnows. If you're using, you know, bigger chubs, bigger suckers, you know, you use a little bit bigger treble hook. And very effective, especially for targeting, you know, big baits with big fish. There's a lot of lakes in Minnesota, Wisconsin, where it seems like we catch the biggest fish each winter just running big chubs, big sucker minnows, you know, where big fish live. And if you let a tip-up sit there long enough with a big lively minnow, you know, if there's a predator around, you're going to catch it here at some point. Nice way to start the morning, huh? Sun's peeking up behind us.
Stay tight with him, and if he wants to go, let him go.
He's waking up now, that fish.
Green Bay gold right there.
This is cool.
Very nice fish.
There she comes. There she comes.
There you go, sir. There you go. How do you like that?
That is
good.
awesome.
If you want to just hold her in the water, I'm gonna go run and get a stick and get a measurement on it.
Okay, let's measure her quick and get her back in. It's pretty cold out. I'm worried about her eyes freezing up. Oh, 30 right on the nose. Look at the belly on that fish. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my, it's just chilly enough where I don't want to keep that fish out of the water very long.
Nice job.
That's worth getting cold for,
Oh
huh?
yeah, definitely.
You know, so targeting these big fish can be a lot of fun. And I tell you what, it doesn't take a lot of equipment. I mean, one little trick that I learned from the boys up at Arneson's Resort up on Lake of the Woods is just check the depth with a tape measure. You don't even need your electronics. If you have a lake map or a map app on your phone, that might help for finding structure. But a lot of cases, on a lot of different bodies of water, especially through midwinter, you find the biggest, most prominent piece of structure on a body of water in that access between deep water and shallow water. Usually that's where big fish are. And if you put big baits and let them sit in those areas, sooner or later a big fish is going to find it and eat it. So don't discount how much fun using tip-ups can be when you're out on the ice this winter.